Today we are going to be looking at all of the online features in Pokemon in 2024. Is anybody still there? Is anybody still online now? Let's find out. Let's start off with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Now, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were actually the first games that brought online gameplay to the series for the first time, and it was a huge deal back then. With the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, you could trade and battle with players worldwide. They introduced the GTS, the Global Trade System, and it was one of the most exciting features because it lets you trade Pokemon by searching for specific ones or listing ones of your own, kinda like eBay for Pokemon. You could also battle other players with the Wi-Fi Club if you found their PAL code first. Of course, they had mystery gifts as well, which gave players a special event Pokemon if they connected to the Wi-Fi on a certain date or entered a certain code. Now, are these features still working today? Now, unfortunately, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection was shut down, so as of anything past 2024, all of these features will not work. However, it's not really dead. Fans have kept the dream alive with custom servers and workarounds. Now, there's a long, complicated process of tweaking your DNS and going into your 3DS settings, and there is stuff you can do. There's tutorials you can find on YouTube which allow you to fix it. And by changing the date, you still can get mystery gifts which were previously Wi-Fi only. But features like random battles, well, those are completely gone since they relied on official matchmaking servers. So yes, it is kind of possible to get Diamond and Pearl online in 2024, but it's definitely not as smooth or as reliable as it was back in 2009. If you're up for the challenge though, it's a fun way to relive some memories. Next up we have Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver. Now, again, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection was shut down in 2024, so the only way to get the unique mystery gift Pokemon such as 10th Anniversary Mew, Manaphy, or the Make-A-Wish Jirachi, as well as items like the Enigma Stone, is through using DNS exploits. This also involves the use of a hotspot on your phone or some other device, because of course the official Nintendo servers are no longer in use. But what about the unique features that were introduced in HeartGold that are still kind of online? Well, the Pokewalker was a groundbreaking accessory. What it basically let you do was walk around, and depending on the number of steps and different features, it could let you catch Pokemon in your actual game. Now, the Pokewalker still actually works, believe it or not. It still works using the IR sensor on compatible DS systems. The batteries are easily replaceable, so even years later, you can catch Pokemon with the help of the Pokewalker and relive some of that nostalgia from back in 2009. But next up we have Pokemon Black and White. Now, these games have some incredible mystery gift distributions, and thanks to custom servers, many of them are still available. Some of the more prominent gifts include Ash's Scraggy from the anime series, the first anniversary Mewtwo, which came with the exclusive move Electro Ball, and the Victini from the movie. You can also get items like the Liberty Pass, which grants access to a unique location where you have to take a boat to it, and you get to encounter Victini in the game and actually catch it. Whereas for Black and White 2, the sequels, you can get Keldeo and Meloetta. But what about the unique features that they introduced? Now, the Sea Gear was the main online feature of Pokemon Black and White. It was displayed on the DS's bottom screen. It provided connectivity options like infrared communication for instant trades and battles, local wireless for multiplayer interactions, and it had something called the Global Link. Players could also access the Entrelink, which is a unique multiplayer zone through the Sea Gear. Now, this is an area where you could walk around and meet players. Unfortunately, the online features of the Sea Gear ceased to work after the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection shut down. However, these local, wireless, and infrared features are still functional. If you have a friend with a DS near you, you can still use these. Because they are location dependent, if you have a friend right next to you, you can still trade and battle him. There was also an extremely unique feature called the Dream World. Now, the Dream World was a website you could access through the Pokemon Global Link website, and it had a lot of interesting features. You could send Pokemon from your game to the Dream World where they could interact with other Pokemon, befriend them, and get hidden abilities. You could play mini-games and berries and acquire unique berries you can't get otherwise in the game. You can collect Dream Points, so as players engage in the Dream World, they would earn these points which unlock more areas. Once you befriended a Pokemon in the Dream World, you could actually transfer it back to your game via the Entrelink Forest. Also, you could decorate your Dream World with furniture, customize the visual environment, and do a lot of other stuff. However, the Dream World was discontinued all the way back in 2014, alongside the shutdown of the Pokemon Global Link. While there have been attempts to revive it, none of them has been remotely as successful as the original website, which, being official, they can't really replicate. So I guess this feature is really lost in time. Now moving forward to Pokemon Black and White 2, they had a unique feature called Join Avenue. Now Join Avenue is like your own customizable shopping mall. You can build and manage shops that offer items, services, or even move tutors to help your Pokemon learn new moves. Originally, this feature allowed other players that you met through trading or battling online to visit your avenue, but even without the online functionality, it still works today. So basically, as NPCs collect on your Join Avenue, there's a variety of ways you can interact with them, you can build social credit, and you can become popular in the game. Now, of course, the online features of the Join Avenue are no longer available, meaning they aren't real players anymore. They're NPCs dropping down by your Join Avenue. However, it isn't that bad. These NPCs still visit regularly, they still give you unique items, and as the avenue ranks up, you'll unlock more shops, better rewards, so there's still a lot you can do. Moving ahead to Pokemon X and Y, there was a major overhaul with something called the player search system. Now, the player search system was at the heart of online features in X and Y. It allows players to battle, trade, or chat with other passerbys from all over the world. If you remember these games, you could instantly meet and talk with someone from Germany or someone from Russia or Japan. Obviously, another thing X and Y is known for is wonder trading, where you could send off a Pokemon to random and receive a random one back. And at the start, it was really good. People would send unique Pokemon and you would get unique ones back. However, it quickly devolved into people sending Caterpies and getting great Pokemon in return, which just skewed the system even more, and it got pretty bad. Finally, they had something called the Battle Spot. Now, the Battle Spot offered quick matchmaking for both casual and ranked online battles. It also had O-Powers, which were unlockable through a variety of different methods. One of them was meeting more passerbys, and they let players share temporary buffs. Now, are these online features still in use today? Sadly, the answer is no. With the Wi-Fi connection shut down, literally everything has been lost, and you're unable to access any of this. It's very sad. However, up until 2024, you could still do a lot of this stuff. By the way, if you want to use the DNS exploit to get mystery gifts, some very unique mystery gifts exist in this game, like Ash's Greninja, or Diancie from the Pokemon movie, or a Torchic with its Mega Stone. Now, there still might be some exploit out there to get the player search system to work, but I'm not aware of it. Now, moving on to Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it had a lot of the same functions as Pokemon X and Y, such as the player search system, wonder trading, GTS, Battle Spot, so I won't go over those again. In a nutshell, they all still don't work because of the shutdown in 2024. However, a standout feature in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is the return of secret bases. Now, if you remember playing the games, secret bases would basically allow you to create and decorate your own personable area hidden somewhere within the Hoenn region. Now, you could share your secret bases via QR codes or via the player search system, enabling others to visit your secret base and interact with them, and there was a lot of features with this. Now, you might think that secret bases are no longer accessible, that you can't visit other people's secret bases anymore, but that's not really true. There's still two features that exist. There's Street Pass and QR codes. Now, Street Pass is a feature in the 3DS where your secret base data is automatically exchanged with other players that you pass by locally, even if you don't necessarily know them. This means that if you're in a big city and you're passing by a lot of people, you might actually find someone who still plays Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and you might find their secret base. And obviously, if you have a friend, you can still see their secret base through the QR code feature, which you can scan through your 3DS and visit their base. Now finally, let's take a look at Sun and Moon's online features. Now, Pokemon Sun and Moon use a lot of mechanics from the previous generations, all of the ones I just mentioned, except secret bases. However, the unique aspect of Sun and Moon is the Festival Plaza. Now, the Festival Plaza allowed trading, battling, and interacting with others. Now, the concept of Festival Plaza was pretty unique, but its execution left a lot to be desired. Key online features were pretty much all of the ones I mentioned before, with not much new. The only kind of new feature was Battle Royale, which allowed free-for-all battles among 4 players. But you rarely could find anyone by the later years of Sun and Moon to engage in Battle Royales. This was kind of finished. As for the mystery gifts, they're still available. You can still find event Pokemon like Magearna or the Munchlax holding Snorlium Z, and they're pretty fun to get if you want to take the time to do the DNS exploit. As for the current status of the Festival Plaza, all of these are no longer functional. However, unofficial custom servers are being developed, which may bring some functionality back. I would stay very tuned on the internet and forums for this. Anyway, those were all of the online features in Pokemon and if they still work today. Most of them don't, but I hope someday someone out there with a big enough brain and a big enough computer will find a way to resurrect all of these amazing features. Thanks, and if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe.